And I think what I always wanted to do for myself and to show other people and to motivate other people is what your body is capable of without supplement. Because I'm not trying to brag or anything, but I think I'm one of the only people that stayed natty throughout his entire lifting career and documented the whole journey and put it on the internet.
Every day I wake up in the morning, I feel like shit. You know why? Fucking nasty sandwich. I'm hungry.
Here's the new breed!
And you can see the fluctuations in my physique and the different mind states that correlate with each shape and sizes. And see, I think natty card does matter in that sense, because see, if I do go on steroids now or in the future, which I don't doubt that I would, and you know, you never say never, I probably won't. But if I do, everything I've done in the past, all the documentations will be worthless. People will look at my videos and they'll be like, oh, that's the result of steroids, no matter what phase of the training career that I'm in.
I don't want to get huge. I just want to get ripped and toned like Brad Pitt in Fight Club. So I'm gonna make a phone call naked because Tyler Durden is supposed to be the Oberman for Nietzsche. So I'm supposed to get inside the telephone booth because that's what Superman does, right? Yeah, naked phone call.
People who want to get that physique will think that they have to resort to steroids. And another reason why I think I haven't resorted to steroids is because I think you have to resort to steroids. In a way, it means that you have run out of ideas, either in training or in life. Especially if you're already at the ceiling of your genetics. You have to work your brain that much harder just to get that small increment of gains. And that forces you to think outside the box. Guys like Tony Huge from Enhanced Athletes and maybe Rich Piana, who both I really like very much because they are very honest and very open about, you know, their uses. So the steroids, almost their end, educate people about what they use. So there's nothing wrong with that, right? But for me personally, I look at bodybuilding as a bodybuilder. That's the last role that I'm identifying myself with.
After I started to look like Brad Pitt, my breath never smelled anymore. I never had bad breath problems anymore. It's like I'm made out of plastic or something, like a mannequin. So I did an experiment. I stuck 20 dead rats in my mouth and around my gums and in between my teeth. When I went to sleep and went on a long hibernation for 15 years. The whole 15 years I had a long dream for 15 years where Angelina Jolie sucks my nipples for whole 15 years. And then when I woke up, I kissed my girlfriend, and then she said I didn't smell like anything. And now my breath didn't even smell like the kind of bad breath that doesn't smell like nothing. So that proves that I was the embodiment of nothingness.
What cannot be speak of, what must pass it over
Go look like your favorite celebrity from Hollywood, and you'll run faster than the wind into the tunnel that says far.
And I already feel kind of a cop-out to use my physique and my aesthetics, either to attract mates or to mind fuck people. So in a sense, I don't really need steroids to accomplish my goals. Because what I really want to do since the beginning is always just to, you know, change the way people think, and just to, not so that you can be receptive or agree with my ideas, so that you can think differently for yourself. So in that sense, I look at my body as a tiny BBC, and it's, you know, it has wings and it's flopping around, flying around in cyberspace, and it's, you know, it's landing. Whoever clicks my videos, I land in the brain, and then like inside of the cortex, in between the folds, I lay eggs, and the seeds of ideas blossom. And this is sort of a follow-up question, which is kind of related, but I think this is where the gist of the video is, right here. Someone asked me, how do you overcome matter with the mind? The answer is by realizing that there is no matter. Because, you know, I used to go back and forth, you know, should I be identified with my brain? Should I read philosophy? Or should I work out? See, back in 2010, I was really deep into neuroscience in the brain. I was, studying a lot about the organ that is the brain, trying to understand how the different parts, how it works. And all I wanted at that point, at that phase of my life, was to be nothing but the brain. I tried to lose all my weight, all my gains, to be as small as possible, so I can imagine myself as just this disembodied brain with just a spinal cord maybe, crawling around my environment, and maybe on top of sheet music and books for macros, for gains, for mental gains. I was in prison with Tom Cruise, right? I was in prison with Tom Cruise, and I'm the DJ, I do music, and I cut off Tom Cruise's skull, and then used his brain as the disc, and I was like, Tom Cruise is like, and then all the prisoners were like so high. That's what I do, man. I use Tom Cruise's head as a DJ.
Even when I'm waiting in the elevator, I jump rope.
But I knew that my genetic limit did not allow me to, lose my entire body. I had to pick the smallest vehicle to drive my intellect around, or vice versa. And just as I couldn't decide during my previous phase, which was the nervous system, the CNS phase, where I was obsessed with the nervous system. That's when I was training for vertical jumps and speed and explosiveness. I couldn't decide whether to be Allen Iverson's first step, which is quickness, or top end speed, or Ben Johnson's 100-yard dash, or Carl Lewis's world record long jump. I wake up in the morning and I was like, what should I be today? And that drove me nuts. I couldn't decide whether to be Brad Pitt or Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee was my first choice because he was 135 pounds and he was smaller, right? But I knew that I didn't have what it takes to be water, so I had to go for the next best prototype, which is Tyler Durden, Brad Pitt's body from Fight Club. But now I realized through the sudden insights, through meditation, that there is never a problem to begin with. Such problem doesn't exist. Both the brain and the body are inside the mind, manifested as sensations, concepts, images, or even memories that are again arising through consciousness moment by moment. So there is no such thing as the body. That's why I kept saying that the body is a hologram.
You made it a hologram, bro?
So what I'm doing when I'm lifting weights at the gym is that I'm just reorganizing and rearranging the different configurations of sensations. Is no different from what I'm doing in my meditation. So gone is the mind-body, intellect, muscle duality.
She's still stuck in it.
So I was so relieved when I finally cracked this duality, because I was really, it was really hard on me to try to figure out if I was the brain or the body. For decades and centuries, scientists and philosophers have been trying to solve the mind-body problem. How does how does matter, the brain, the physicality and the materiality of the brain give rise to the immateriality and the transparency of consciousness? Right? We've made so much progress in material science and understand the brain so much more now, but we still have not made any progress in understanding that mind-body duality. But I think they're tackling the problem from the wrong angle. All they have to do is flip the paradigm around and realize that there is nothing but consciousness. That's why Vipassana is also called insight meditation, because when you meditate, you're not looking for a peace of mind. At least I'm not. I don't care about a peace of mind. I don't care about happiness. I only care about the insights into reality. And you see, you can't solve these fundamental paradoxes about existence and reality through just books alone. Of course books help, but what you get out of books are just concepts and words and language, which the knowing of that is in a completely different order and paradigm than the deep wisdom that you gain from meditation. Again, conceptual and abstract, and another is embodied. It's a direct experience. Of course, there are other paradoxes that you have to solve through insights, such as the duality between the inner world and the outside world, and between self and others. How do you balance seeking and trying to achieve versus just letting go? See, even the mind is not a substance, it's not a thing. The word mind is not a noun. It's a verb. What is the mind but just the successions of images and sensations, sights, sounds, emotions, whatever, it's all the same. Arising and passing moment by moment. And you can extend that to everything else in reality. You know, there is no body, only bodying. There is no mind, only minding. There is no chair, only chairing. There's only Frank Yang Ying. There is no now in reality, only verbs.